Good morning. Can you guys hear me? Anybody? Hello, hello. Okay, thank you. All right, let's go through the charts real quick, and then we'll start to take a look at some new things. So, got to change it up a little bit, keep everything fresh. We'll start out with the S&P overnight is sold off. The bond yields around the world have really gone up a lot, so that typically basically it's kind of like the Fed raising rates, but the world bonds have gone up a pretty decent amount, so that typically puts a little bit of pressure on the stock market. Definitely a spot to hold. We've had a kind of a little morning bounce, and we're just sitting here, so we'll see if they can hold this area. If not, it looks like it wants to break to that lower area, maybe even back to the couple week and a half ago's lows. We'll have to watch the price action here and how it works out. I mean, it's definitely trying to hold in here. I like to look at the NASDAQ. It's got a relative strength issue that I've talked about, where the better traders in the world are out trading NASDAQ stocks. They're more volatile, etc. So this is one that you got to watch. It's actually a little more bearish than the S&P, although shorter time frames. See, we made this new low. It's trying to come back. Crude oil, kind of in that consolidation we talked about yesterday, and then we've had this rally. So, but then it fell apart this morning, last hour. So it's definitely in range bound trade, choppy trade. Got to just kind of chip away. Decent area for the bounce, and it's kind of sitting right here. Doesn't look so hot on the 5-minute. Looks like it could retest those lows this morning. We'll see if we get a little bit of push here of testing those lows. So I'm gonna go over systems trading today. I've got to get these apps on. I have to kind of view in on it. Okay, let me pull that up and we'll get connected. Takes a little bit. We'll go and we'll look at the yen real quick too. Kind of in a choppy range, just like the market. I'll leave the higher time frames. All right. So just to explain systems trading, and we're actually going to have a informational slash training session on systems trade. Um, Something obviously near and dear to my heart, so I wanted to make sure that everyone kind of got their feet wet on the type of trading that occurs with systemized trading and with what type of systems are available out there, and also what we have available. So I am going to expand some of these out. All right, systematic trading. Let me fix this screen a little bit. Just go like this. Anyone at any time, if you have any questions, please I'm just showing Jerry about systems trading and how the system signals get sent out and how that all works. So um, basically with systematic trading, you have to have, the software. Let me minimize this. You have to have the software to do that. So what are the types of softwares? There's MetaTrader. By the way, this is MetaTrader. So you can go. They have this is kind of the industry standard when you talk about the different trading systems. Hold on, I gotta mute this thing. Okay, that's better. So this is MetaTrader. Let me pull up the. So it's what's called a strategy tester. So you can import. They have samples. You can import a trading system. You can test it, back test it. You can get trade reports. They have that also in this journal. They also have how to turn it on and off. Is this button here? You can have. They give you all these different trading systems, kind of. Called expert advisors. So they're giving you these samples. You can use those. I mean, a moving average crossover, a MACD crossover, if you're familiar with that. It's a very basic strategy. So what they do is they allow you to, I guess, get your feet wet with that, with trading, automated trading systems. So what you would do is you could put the system on. You can say, well, I'm going to get in here. I'm going to get out there. You could put auto trading on. It'll auto trade. There's different things, black box and gray box. Black boxes, you turn it on, you go to the beach. Gray boxes, you turn it on, and then you monitor it to make sure that X, Y, and Z is true, gets in its different areas, etc. So there's definitely a lot of different variables that are involved with system trading. Through my past experience, I've used MetaTrader. The other top dog is TradeStation. TradeStation is pretty similar to this. I would actually say it's even better. Most of MetaTrader, which is this, is Forex. I mean, they do have obviously NASDAQ and the rest on there, but I think that's just for their offerings. I believe you can do it, CFDs it's called, so you can trade those different vehicles that through a different way. It's kind of a derivative product is pretty much what it is. So when you see, like in the case of a system, you can have it visually. So what I've done is put some of my systems on where you can see arrows. So if X, Y, Z is true at the close of this bar where the blue arrow is, you would buy. So that would be buy here. And then you have your opportunity to take profit or have your stop loss. Same thing here. And then you have your opportunity for profit or your stop loss. Typically we do, you look at stop losses as that recent low candle. It's a pretty conservative stop loss. So the idea with systems trading is to have something that is very disciplined, forced discipline, I'd almost say. I think it's great for new traders, experienced traders, and the like. It just really, really, really forces you to have that kind of discipline and to be able to see, okay, believe me, you can get click happy. We've all seen it. We've all done it, and trading wise. So when you see some of these different trades, it definitely is a way to keep yourself out of trouble from over trading. It's even a good benchmark. Like for me, I sat down and said, okay, over the years, I like this, I don't like that, whatever works. And then as time evolves, you find something like my bands give me a pretty good statistical feel of, what the market, where it's been, where it can go. And that's kind of the tools and how we use that. Obviously, if it's above that line, you'd want to either cut your position, or if it's downtrending to short. And obviously, if you're below that, you don't want to be short. Here, we've had a pretty decent rally, so if you were long, this would be definitely a recommended area for trimming positions or getting flat. So that's MetaTrader. Pretty much the same for TradeStation. Same type of. So it's pretty generic. You can go in and code. So you can come here. Let me just pull it up so you guys can understand the level of complexity that comes with it. So you could get the stock systems. Some of those systems are pretty expensive. Some of them make a ton of money and then they don't make a ton of money. So it's really, you have to manage and monitor the systems as they come through. Seems like it's taking a while for that pull up, so I'll just wait until it comes up. But the bottom line is that with MetaTrader, with automated trading systems, you get the stock system. Pretty much everybody knows about it, so the odds of it working is very low. And then on the flip side of that, the difficulty level is of all the possible systems and coding that you can do is also the lowest. It's just the editor's taking a really long time to load, so just have to wait. All right, I guess that's not going to load, so we'll go on to the next part. Maybe it's already come in. So my journey was I tried TradeStation, and you code it in. It says when X, Y, and Z is true, puts in a little whatever. Same thing on TradeStation. It could put an arrow and stuff like that. So you go and run it, and you run it live, and they have data feeds, right? So now I'm sure they've changed it since then, but this was kind of a while ago. But I know that people I still read on the forums and stuff like that are the issues that they do have with some of these systems. You know, they do their best, but there's so many pieces of the puzzle that's involved with this, of getting you the data, getting the system, taking it, collating all the data, spitting out a signal, making sure your stop gets in, your target gets in. But honestly, it's so complicated, and they've spent so much time and money on these different systems that it's a good product, but it's not institutional strength. I would not trade $1 million on this. I would not, if you had to go and trade aggressively or many trades in a day, if you had a system that traded on and on and on, this type of software is not conducive to that. It also gives you a lot of back testing, but back testing, you don't know. Like you look at a chart here and say, well, it was an up bar, but you go and look on the 1 minute and you say, well, what did it do to make that up bar? You know, did it just blast straight up, or did it pull back and then rally? So there's a lot of different things. So when you back test on a 5 minute, it doesn't take in consideration really how it got there. So you might have hit your stop, you may not have. There's just a lot of different variables that are just not conducive to accuracy, in my opinion. Because I would run it live, and then I'd run the back test at the end of the week of how the past week trading went, and it would be different. It wouldn't match up. So to me, that was unrealistic. So I built my own software in C#. I'll put this down here. So this is the trading software getting information from the API from T4. So you can see T4 ticking away in the background. Same app that connects to your MTG app is connected right now to this T4, and then it's able to take that data and then put it into my algorithms that then give a trading, you could see these numbers here. I don't know how much you can tell on through here, but you could probably see the numbers. You could probably see the numbers ticking. And that's the live streaming data coming in, constantly updating the algorithm, and then the position minder is here. So this is long the NASDAQ currently, and this is short crude. This time frame is the 5 minute. So this is a 5 minute trade. So the long and short of systematic trading and coding in this is that you get your data. You have your, if A, B, and C is true, then enter position, which we'll look here. So this part is your order ticket. So it's the same as with anything like when you go on your T4 and it has your orders and trades that have gone in. That's your order ticket for this. And then you can see the, it's got the, if it's a sell or a buy, is it CL or NQ, price, and then I have data. So I collect all this data on the information of how the actual app is trading all the time. So you can see as I scroll through this, every 5 minutes it takes a snapshot of the information. That was started at 7 a.m. So all this data helps me to collect information that can allow a system to be better than just, oh, I'm going to get in and take a trade and hope for the best. There's definitely has to be, if you want longevity in the game, you have to have some type of reason for putting on a trade, be it, as you've some of you guys learned with manual trading out in San Francisco and Sacramento, or just on your own, playing around with the demo or whatever, or with the practice account. So this is the kind of stuff that when you look at systematic trading, you want to have the most powerful tools. So I pretty much said I'm going to make a very stable platform, and then that platform I want to be able to use and um, have it flexible. So I'm able to put other systems, multiple systems on. So every pair, green and red, obviously buy and sell. Every system is a separate, different system. Every pair. So you could see once you start adding up all those systems that you've got enough tools to allow you to be able to be outperform the market. So when you look at different trading systems and you look at different trading softwares, you want to be able to take them into consideration of how they're doing now, what type of markets do they work in, etc. So I'll go back to charts, and you can see this is a pretty choppy market. Yes, it moved down. Yes, it moved up. So a contrarian system, if you're selling a band, buying below a band, selling above a band, etc., that's a contrarian system. That system, you're doing pretty darn well today. A trend-based system had its moments early on. So what I do is I keep track of all this data. I've got the P&L, the high and the low. So how much it made, how much heat did it take, as in how much did it get down. You also have to look, like I said, with candles, how much how it was formed. Same thing with the P&L of how a system gets formed. So if you think about, here's a trade that's long, and then you look at the market and what it's done, and so you can kind of start to get a feel of where the market's been. So this actually got up pretty quickly. This is in ticks, so that's $510. So you just add a zero. And then same thing here, it just had a drawdown, so that the drawdown was minus 300. So when you look at a system, the idea is you want to have the system trigger hit a trigger, and you want to actually let it have drawdowns, because I recognize, and the whole idea of what we're trying to do is that a system works for a while and then it doesn't work, and it has what's called a drawdown. So I'd like to get, I think I can pull up on strategy tester. I'm just going to pull up a random oil chart. We'll go 5 minute. I'll just do moving average crossover. Symbol, I'd like to get some oil here. US oil. I'm going to go the 5 minute. I'm going to go just use date from today to today. It might take a while, so I'll just keep talking. Or maybe not. Nope. I guess this system, so basically the system it's not connected. The default one they gave you. So basically what it does is it gives you a report, gives you a graph, gives you your trades, your times and sales, stuff like that. Maybe I'll even go 1 day back and see if it'll. Maybe it just didn't have any data. No, it's saying that there's no ticks. But basically what it does is it'll say when X, Y, and Z is true, it'll say here's your profit, here's your max drawdown, here's your position. They actually even graph it. I'll try and get a graph on a different one at some point. And so you could see how it literally looks like a normal chart on the graph. So you'll have this movement. It looks like a chart, but it's actually the P&L of that system. So pretty much what I look at is that if I know what the ranges of the system is, then I can go and be able to enter in on a slight drawdown and then be able to capture the profits in this way from a gray box perspective, or what is the exact time that you turn on a system. So that's kind of how the systems can run and work. And so it allows you to get a good feel, but like I said, it basically got down a little bit and then made a $500 spurt on a one lot. So that's kind of I would call more like a base hit trading. But we all know that that's a pretty good, that's a pretty good trading day. I will show, let's see if I can expand this out. So when you start running systems, what you want to do, and I'll highlight it. So if you look at 753 at crude, it triggered and then the message was sent. So here's how the software works. This is the software that actually sent the system signal. 753 and 04 seconds. And then 753 and 04 seconds. It seems to be a little slow. There we go. So at 753 and 4 seconds, the app hit, although it was connected that way. So let's pull up crude. So it would be 6:53 Central Time. So you can see the trade entered here at 6:38. I'm sorry, at 60:38. The high was 54, so a decent winner. And then it exited here at 30. So lost 8 ticks. But at this one point, it was up. So when you look at systems trading, the trade triggers, gets sent to the app, gets put in, and then you can trade out either, do I take a profit at a certain percentage or amount? Do we let this go? I mean, this was pre-market, so this trade is kind of the ones where you get a larger move. So you can see, I just want to make sure I had to actually build this infrastructure. So the idea will be that the system will trade in the room that everyone can see, and then you can choose, or I can give recommendations of when you should run it. But this is a pretty good time that you should run the system, and this is a good time to maybe shut the system down. But this way you have the ability to see where, if you look at the next trades that came in. So 806 it had a sell, and I will, so 706. 706 was a sell here, short, and then it proceeded to fall apart. So those are the kind of signals that get sent out. And then you have the sell, and then 50 minutes later you have the exit at 55. So I guess down here. So from 34 to, it went about 40 ticks at some point, and then it actually re-triggered again on that sell-off. So the level of complexity with these trading systems is, I guess it just bought. It just, you could see it just keeps constantly going. Very aggressive. Now, a lot of that has to be filtered because it's, if you have that many trades and or a drawdown for the combine, then obviously you have to make sure that it's combine friendly. So the idea is that when these signals are coming out, that you would be getting them turned on when the market's ready to move on this trending system, and then here's the contrarian system. So this is the contrarian system in the S&P, NASDAQ, and crude. And you can see different areas. Sell at 91, buy it at 83, buy at 67, sell it at 71. So it's just chipping away. It's a contrarian system. Let's look at the NASDAQ. Sell at 08. I guess I have to get in the right. Wait, buy it. Sell it. Just had a buy at 13. Still in. So that's a contrarian system. This is a trending system. You blend the two systems together, and you have a pretty darn good chance of making, making returns that are well above the normal and standard. This is what most of the normal hedge funds use. This is the type of software style that the larger firms out there, and this Virtue that just came public, they have automated trading software like this. So basically, this was from Friday, I think, that's pulling the data. So of the system that's out there, this is the 5-minute, and then also had different 1 minute. So basically, it's turned on, and then you have to wait for the first signal. So this is the algorithmic data. Let me get rid of all this and just cover one at a time. So this is the algorithmic data that gets collected, that makes its buying and selling decisions. That's just for me for informational purposes. But typically what I want to do is wait for the system to start working after the first round. It actually takes time for it to, once you start it. I actually had to restart it on that day, so it was a late start. I've been trying to get it going earlier. So the first buy that hit 9:45 a.m., the high was $220, low was 130. At what point do you want to take profits on that? It's really up to what the system and or like I've put on the application where you can pick your profit targets for the day, etc. Next P&L buy that hit, high of 45, which is $450, low of $111. And then that was the end of the day. Actually, with the 5-minute, there's less systems, less signals. 1 minute for more aggressive traders. Your first P&L buy hits earlier because it's a 1 minute. High of $720, low of $70. And so you can see, high of 130, low of 190. It typically, in the middle of the day, that's starting to get towards lunchtime, works. It's a momentum. And then the end of the day, you can see here's a buy system that hit, plus 670, minus 70. So those are kind of, looking at the different systems. Here's another one. This is just crude. Here's another crude, plus 54, minus 13. So you could see it can hit multiple times in a day and also be able to be, capture profits in a short-term basis. This is about an hour and 20 minutes. So it's definitely something to be more maximize your, like we've talked about, the time value of money and being in a position at a certain time, etc. So that's the different data that I go through. Actually, a lot of people have asked to see this. I don't want to complicate things, but it's definitely something to see the power of how it works, how it gets into trades, and how it can all help us in passing our goals. So we could see 1040 NASDAQ buy hits. Which is actually 9:40 Central Time. So this is the area that it bought at 06. You could see on there, I believe it has 07. And now we're currently trading 24. Still in the trade, up 17 points in the NASDAQ, which is almost $400. $350, let's just say. So you could see how having the right tool, having the right delivery system, having all the different things that are possible with systematic trading really gives you an opportunity to be profitable and gives you an opportunity to be able to pass combines, etc. So the idea is to put this right. I'll bring you on, Jerry, just so you can. I'd love to hear your feedback. What kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to teach anything. I'm just showing. There's no teaching involved here. It's just this is the method of the madness, as they say, and how systematic trading works from a high level institutional spot versus I bought a MetaTrader on the internet. Go on and I'll do it right now. You go on the internet and do a search for you do a search for got a lot of stuff running here, so it's taking forever. Oh, it's still coming up. So the idea is that you can go and buy different trading systems, but what do you do once the system doesn't work? Do you just keep using it and take losses until it starts working again, or what is the idea there? So my opinion is that you have to stay with the market. You got to stay on top of this. You have to stay in focus of what is out there, what is constant. That's not your job. That's my job to see what's going on. But let's just do buy trading systems. So we got 28 million results. You start going through, you can go on Amazon, trading systems and books. Able Systems actually is pretty good. You've got robot trading. You've got all these different trading systems out there. And so when someone talks about a system, there's automated trading and then there's systematic trading where you actually still manually put in the trade. They're basically the same thing. So systematic trading, if X, Y, and Z is true, then you're going to go ahead and take that trading system. Jerry, did you have any questions? I can unmute you. So here's different trading systems from this company, how they do it, what they charge. Let's see E-mini, that's what we follow. So they have all their different trading systems. I don't know where they price. Let's see, Able Systems. Able Systems is $3,000, and then the add-on for MetaTrader is $6,000. So that's kind of how, if you want to just do short-term lease or buy the whole package. Then it looks like they give you your free updates, and then it's $300 a year. But I think the biggest thing is that they're giving you, it's on TradeStations, other different it gives you a pretty good list of stuff that you can do and add on. I mean, they have a lot. This is just one company of many, of 28 million, right? So pull that to the side. So that being said, that's how a trading system works. You could see that's the P&L, just keeps it still in that long trade, and the NASDAQ, it's up 10, it's just sitting there it's quiet. You could see there's the S&P, it's pretty similar. That's kind of just how the systems sit there and track and trade. Let's see if I can pull the NASDAQ, and then this was crude. Crude is this is a 1-minute crude system, crude oil. Pretty fairly balanced today. Got up 28 ticks, got down 27 ticks. It's up currently 22 ticks, but it's in a sell version, meaning that the profitability of the system is fading, so you don't want to be trading it. So those are the kind of things that we have available. And a lot of people have asked to see how the systems work, how they put in outputs in a trade. I had another trigger on the other one go off, but like I said, it's a busy beaver, as they say. You could see on the different trading systems. For some people, they might want all those trades. Some people may not. It just all depends on the person. Same thing here. Buy 13, sell at 19. Crude, looks like I bought 67, sold 71, bought 80. Wow, this one's actually pretty good. Bought 80, it's trading 60-20, it's 40 higher. So you can see how different systems really work pretty well. Also, does anyone have any questions on manual trading? How to put in an order, what the different functions are, etc. Okay. So when you look at systemized trading, you you always want to keep it in context. I mean, I guess I have the charts up there. I can leave this. I can shrink it a little bit. So this is how the trading systems go with their signals sent out, and then as the price action changes and moves, it makes its decisions based on actual price action, which is why, like I've said, that staying close to the market is the best way to go. So it's always changing. You can see, obviously, it's constantly moving and ticking in here. And that's in ticks. So, well, points for the NASDAQ, ticks for crude. We can actually go back to the chart. I'd like to be able to get this to have that trading system on there, but maybe I have to add the expert advisor on there. But it's pretty interesting when you see how they, in their software, they can bring up the strategy tester. It'll have a graph of the actual P&L. Looks like it couldn't pull the data for that. And there's how it gives a report graph, and then the settings if we were to change it. See if we can do MACD. I'll hit start. Yeah, it's just not connecting to it. I'll get rid of this chart. We'll start to see here. Let's cover the charts real quick again. Okay, you're asking about MACD. The moving, put on oil. Attach it to the chart. I'll just do the simple one. Zoom in, candlestick it. The moving average convergence divergence. So what it does, in this case, it's the 12, 26, and 9 is their standard. But you see that what it's doing is actually comparing the ebb and flow of moving averages between each other. And so they have the histogram, which is this part, and then they have the signal line, which is here, and then ideally is when the histogram cuts through, you want to sell, and you can cover there. And then you would buy and cover there. I mean, obviously, when there's a bigger move, it shows up much better. So once the goes above here, you'd buy, buy here, and you'd sell when it crossed through here. So that move from 58.74 to over a buck. Now that's a 1 hour chart. You'll see. Now you see why they call it an oscillator. You've got this back and forth movement on an oscillator. So that's choppiness, but when you get it to an extended period, that's where you get a larger move. So you get a larger move in here. It's definitely, and you could see how it faded, and then it came down, and now it's railing back up. So it's a laggard indicator. So you can see it gets in late. And then if you were to get short here, short, cover, well, you basically broke even after being up practically $1. It's a 15-minute chart, so you got to realize that from a perspective of the time frame, and then if you're picking a profit target, because you got to look at it. You get in a trade, you're up $1. This is a winner. You do not wait until it goes all the way against you, and here you are. It's like, wow, I was up $1 and then I lost on the trade, waiting for the exit. So the MACD is a typical oscillator. There's stochastics. I mean, all of this stuff, I will actually pull it up on ton of studies. There's channels. I use the Bollinger Bands. I think they give you a really good feel of where the market is and where it's going and where it's been. So you've got average to range is good for, that's how we pick our stops and targets. So the average true range gives you what was the range of the bars in the recent period. And so that allows you to be able to capture, capture those. CCI is pretty good. And they all have, you can go and look it up. They're all online. They tell you how they figure it out, stochastics, etc. Relative strength, slow stochastic, RSI. They've got, this was good for stocks, the Williams percent R for overbought and oversold levels. So there's a lot of different ones, but frankly, they actually repeat. So if I go and put a stochastic, MACD, an RSI, and a CCI, all four of those, and you line them up and say, well, what are they doing? Where are they going? You'd be pretty surprised on how, pretty surprised on how they pretty much all line up. So you could just see the ebb and flow of the market. These trades have triggered. This was a new crude trade. It's up 10. This one's up 13. So you're up 23 ticks, $230 if you're trading that particular time frame. You say, you know what, I'm up $230. I'm out of my combine. That's a pretty good day. That's the kind of stuff that you can look at and have, from a time frame of buying and selling. The idea is reducing risk. You want to jump in at the right time, make your money, get out, and then you're really doing well with that versus I'm just randomly going to buy. So, let me see. is it's hiding from me, the charts. Anyone else has questions on different technical indicators? I can explain. I could re-explain my tick range. I believe tick range is, you're talking about from T4? Okay. That is one unique tool, tick range. Oh, that's a yen. Let me find crude oil. Or NASDAQ. Here's my NASDAQ tick range. So it's 4 ticks in a point. 4 ticks in a point. I picked 8, so this is 2-point range. So every candle that you see, 93.5, I mean 91.5, every candle will have the high and the low of basically 2 points. So the interesting part about the tick range candles is you see how much smoother it is. So this is, you go into custom, and then you can pick out your tick range. It's actually under properties. You can go to tick range, and I chose 8. You can expand it out. You could shorten it. Shorten it doesn't really do much because now you're just basically like a 1-minute chart. But you'll see the technical indicators on how it works, and also when things break out. It's I really like the technical indicators on a tick range chart. It's something unique. This is pretty rare, actually. The tick range chart is hard to find. It's not on MetaTrader. It's not on most other platforms. But I've definitely found that it holds these Bollinger Bands like so rock solid. I mean, yeah, I could hit the top one and go a little bit, but it definitely trades. There's definitely been some people that said they trade. Well, I mean, it is what it is. The tick range is just it when a bar opens, it's got its open, and then from that point, whenever it goes 8 ticks, that will complete the bar. So if it went 8 ticks straight up, it makes a new bar. When 8 ticks straight up, made a new bar. And 8 ticks made a new bar. Dropped all the way down 8 ticks, came all the way back up, ticked, made a new bar. So just it's not based on time, it's based on price. This is the key part for tick range charts. So it's just a tool. I think it's a pretty good, for people that are manually trading, that this is a very good tool to use. And getting the trend, you could clearly see the uptrend here, and then B, it gives you contrarian moves also, which we can cover. Back to the system. It's up 16 in crude now, only up 8. I think the high was 12 on the NASDAQ. It's time of day. Now you cut this. I mean, the NASDAQ gets slow. Crude can still move, but usually this time of day, it gets a little slower. Oh, you're welcome. So what I can do is leave this. I can leave this up. This darn Apple stuff. I can leave this up so you can see how it trades, how it's ticking along. It's getting the live data. You can see on how it works. I don't know, it just went green, so we'll see if it's system starts to work. It's time of day now for this system. It's definitely a momentum-based trending system. So typically it works on the open, which you could see it got up $500 pretty much right off the bat. And this time of the day, it seems to be pretty quiet and choppy. So that's pretty typical. So this is in no means that you're supposed to learn this or know this. It's just informational. A lot of people want to know what's under the hood. And so I'm going to do a separate training seminar to show to show how it gets into different levels of trading systems. Like when I talk about even trading multiple time frames, you can look. Yeah, I'll put the charts up, sure. I understand that. Like here's the 1 minute just in crude. You could see the 5 minute waits for things to line up. It's only up 11, but the 1 minute is up 43 ticks. So there's a difference in time frames, and you can trade both those time frames, same system, different results. So that's where you get to the diversification factor, and that's where you're able to get it doesn't. I'm seeing that there's news coming about OPEC and they're not changing output. Not sure how that, it probably would be mildly bullish for crude oil, but other NASDAQ, it's flat. 1 minute, nothing, no trading. Just that time of the day, so. So I will put the charts back up. Get rid of that. And so if anyone's wanted to ask some questions later or whatever, just let me know. I can jump on and answer for you, or if we want to, if you want to speak, I can just have you speak on, unmute you so you can ask questions. So that's it for today. If you, like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. And we'll see you on the wrap-up call. Thanks a lot.